Your return is much appreciated by the CoinSeries channel. Request from viewer is, who is your favorite CEO and who is the best coin for you? You can also comment your opinion. Thank you to all the subscribers of our CoinSeries. Who came to our channel CoinSeries? You will always be info with the latest CoinSeries news. Number 1, CEO Brad Garlinghouse XRP and Ripple. Number 2, CEO Grayscale SEC. Number 3, CEO JP Morgan Bitcoin. Number 4, CEO Brian Armstrong Coinbase. Please like my video and subscribe my channel. Dear everyone, if you follow the news, you know that in July, a judge sided with John Deaton, who represents over 75,000 XRP holders, and declared that XRP is not a security. This had a huge influence on our community. Its importance is paramount since all following instances cite the SEC versus Ripple case. Even though it does not serve as a legally binding precedent, it is nevertheless useful to learn from it. Actually, they're both taking place simultaneously. Take a look at these prominent predictions made by Bloomberg's experts. 70% of the time, Coinbase's move to add to the SEC lawsuit will be successful. Listen up, crypto world, the SEC has been on a losing trend as of late. According to this analyst, the Ripple case is one reason why the SEC versus Coinbase litigation is likely to be dismissed. The XRP community as a whole is responsible. John Deaton also deserves a great deal of gratitude. Of course, no problem. It is my intention to address that. Furthermore, the report discloses the criteria that a Bloomberg intelligence analyst must meet in order to approve the XRP ETF. Listen. I think an XRP ETF will be released eventually, but this analyst thinks certain things have to happen first. I want to make it apparent that I am not from a wealthy family. Since I am not a certified financial counselor, you should not place your faith in what I write or say or make a purchase based on what I say. For fun and relaxation, I enjoy making videos on YouTube about cryptocurrency. I'm just an enthusiast. According to Bloomberg's experts, Coinbase has a 70% chance of winning the motion to dismiss the SEC lawsuit. That's the first item from today's Daily Huddle. Because SEC is suing other coins I own, this is fantastic news for me. Also, I have no doubt that many of you would concur. The odds of Coinbase, a prominent US-based cryptocurrency exchange, successfully defending itself against the US Securities and Exchange Commission's lawsuit are 70%. According to an intelligence expert at Bloomberg. Totally unrelated. Bloomberg analyst Elliot Stone claims that prior to the case's court appearance, Coinbase believed it could defend itself against the regulatory authorities' accusations of trading law infractions. However, this proved to be incorrect. I was prepared to have this dismissed due to some allegations, but my expectations were revised once he witnessed the events, so the peace is preserved, and the case will continue in court. However, Stein asserts that he left the session with the impression that Coinbase would be completely disregarded. The likes of this are very rare. Reason being, according to Stein, the SEC's definition of an investment contract is less robust than Coinbase, which will aid in debunking the regulator's other claims made against the cryptocurrency exchange. This is the exact quotation from Stein. 70% chance of winning, with basic coin Coinbase, I hope, will come out on top here. We conclude that the judge wanted a limiting principle in order for the SEC definition of investment contracts to exclude collectibles. Maybe you've heard that the SEC is trying to apply the Howey analysis to the crypto realm? It's a very well-known argument. If their proposal succeeded, trading cards would be treated as securities, similar to the Ripple case. Fight those Pokemon in the great outdoors, you know. You have those in your hand. I have never been the Poke dude. I know it's a Pokemon game, but I've never actually played it. There are a lot of you who have undoubtedly played Pokemon games. But that is, to be honest, how Origins would be, but, if we take that at face value, pretty much everything would be fantastic. I'll elaborate on this point as the film progresses. It is, in the simplest terms possible, absurd. The court was attempting to determine the SEC's limiting principle in an investment contract that would exclude collectibles, given their value and marketability. The price room also changes as a result of market forces. He claims that after considering our options, we decided to invest in Coinbase since theirs was the most appealing. Establish a business instead of just an atmosphere and create a legal obligation. The July Ripple decision revealed that digital asset sales on public exchanges do not easily satisfy the requirements of the Howey test to be deemed investment contracts. Even if the case reaches the Supreme Court, which we anticipate it will still restrict his he thinks of Coinbase as having a stake in the SEC as well as an investment in the company. Coinbase also made a convincing argument that the SEC's allegations don't prove enough that it was a broker. Pay attention, the SEC's history is not a pretty one. They are in a world of hurt because their skis have failed them. They have a valid point when they say the SEC will probably lose 70% of the time. What these people are doing is really horrific, in my opinion. I thought we had already moved on from ecological systems. Looking at this post from social media sites Bitcoin archived with it. As the Bitcoin hash rate hit a record high of 500 exahashes, he proceeded to comment, backed by nothing, beside an emoji that appeared perplexed. It also shows the chart for people who want to view it on a screen. Ex-user Metal Lawman, James Murphy, an attorney, penned the next piece. He had that republished. Bitcoin is not a security since it does not have an ecosystem, according to an SEC lawyer who testified before Judge Fila during the Coinbase hearing. My goodness. Simply put, everyone uses that system. Yeah. After that, wouldn't you agree that that's fine? After that, wouldn't you agree that that's fine? Alright then. Afterwards, attorney John Dean uploaded what SEC lawyers had said, and it was the most ridiculous thing spoken during the court. One thing I've noticed about SEC lawyers is their relentless refusal to consider the facts. The attorney's failure to do so was spot on. Oh, the dishonest people know full well how dishonest they are. They can see it clearly. This is why I think of them as demons bestowed by Satan himself, monsters without wings. To put it simply, they could care less about the truth. Nobody matters to them, even the investors who have bet on them. In order to succeed, we shall do whatever is required of us. So, they're trying to trick you. They are trying to trick the courts, that much is true. Personally, I think it's spot on. All of the crap they're arguing over has no basis whatsoever. Their one and only goal is to win. A land grab done for the sake of jurisdiction. That concludes it. Stewart, Ripple's chief legal officer, also wrote the following, which you already have. If the SEC had alerted the Supreme Court that individuals were investing in an orange atmosphere during the oral argument in the Howey case, they would have been removed from the courtroom immediately. The SEC's break with the law would be humorous if it weren't so awful and damaging. Absolutely, I feel the same way. By the way, this is Paul Gray, who is Coinbase top legal officer. Once again, an example is given by him. I think that's great since he authored and offered an example from Stuart Eldorado that is much better. A million times yes. If tokens linked to ecosystems that do not have access to a company's revenue, assets, or earnings are deemed securities, then someone should notify Taylor Swift fans before they buy that ticket or t-shirt. Of course, no problem. My apologies to everyone involved. I have a phone like that. Disconnect it. It seems like my alarm was blaring. Which are now starting to spread. He goes on to say that the tickets and tokens are not investments. In reality, no one holds that view. It will happen inevitably if the Commission's plan is greenlit. Everyone here must agree that this is totally absurd and shouldn't exist. This shouldn't move forward, in my opinion. This entire planet is going bonkers. The baseless accusations against Coinbase make legal action against the company very improbable. Keep reading for an interesting revelation. Intelligence experts from Bloomberg lay out the criteria for approving the XRP ETF in the paragraph that follows. The requirements for the formation of an XRP exchange-traded fund have been outlined by James C., a prominent ETF research analyst at Bloomberg Intelligence. For their perspective on the topic, check out the latest episode of Coinbase Weekly Podcast, which focuses on the institutional market call. The presenters highlighted the increasing buzz surrounding Bitcoin and other digital currencies that could one day be eligible for an ETF. More specifically, they were interested in XRP's future performance. "Not anytime soon," James Seifert responded, alluding to the industry's notorious status as an object of US regulation, which, incidentally, I agree with. Nevertheless, his practical knowledge allows him to understand the kind of things that need to happen before any institution would do this. "My guess is that it won't happen anytime soon because I highly doubt Kim Jong-un would be willing to vote in favor of it. One vote was all that was needed to authorize the Bitcoin ETF. I may not think it's likely, but it might happen, and his command won't last forever. Yet, there is still no war." Nonetheless, he did admit that the ongoing SEC versus Ripple case makes XRP a potential candidate for exchange-traded fund (ETF) classification. He went on to describe the current regulatory structure, detailing how crucial it is to have a federally regulated XRP futures market. He specifically mentioned the EMET that trade on the CFTC-regulated Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Seifert claims that Ethereum and Bitcoin are the only two cryptocurrencies that have futures markets that are regulated. This has led prominent asset managers to zero in on the Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange-traded funds (ETFs). In regards to this issue, please see both the CME futures market and the possibility of an XRP ETF were highlighted by Seifert as crucial. While speculating, he thought the SEC would require an exchange-traded fund (ETF) for futures or even allow direct spot trading of the asset. That's not something that the average person would know, certainly not me or the majority of you. There is a good explanation as to why we do not work. That reality does not include us. He does, in fact. Because of that, I found it really interesting. It would appear that this is an essential requirement for the future release of a spot XRP ETF. Assuming it's feasible, it seems more like it would be permitted prior to a spot XRP ETF anyhow. Anyhow, please. Given the current status of rules, the Bloomberg team remains unconvinced by the second option. Also, Seifert noted that the market structures of various assets, not only Bitcoin and Ethereum, could necessitate an act of Congress. He highlighted the ongoing Supreme Court cases involving Coinbase, Kraken, and others, stating that it is crucial to monitor how these decisions could influence the classification of digital assets as securities. The court battle may have positive consequences, but liberals and Bloomberg experts remain skeptical that the SEC would approve an XRP ETF very soon. He expressed his disappointment that XRP was still being classified as a security by the SEC. As a result, his understanding of the law may be out of date. Not only did the SEC reject the notion that XRP constituted a security, but they also announced their intention to not appeal the judge's decision. Therefore, it's plausible that he was leaving out that particular element. When it comes to the XRP community, though, we probably pay more attention to that than he does. Of course. He has a greater grasp of what it takes to get someone's okay. Therefore, nothing has changed. Of course. To me, it seems like he's just being intellectually honest. Having said that, I doubt I will see it very soon. Under Ginza's presidency, it will not happen this year. Regardless, it will be fun and mundane. It is our sincere desire to be able to shoot that video at some point in the future. This is not my area of expertise, financial advisors. Stop buying and selling immediately, regardless of what I say. After that, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you liked it. Coming up shortly, farewell.